Relationship difficulties often lead to loneliness. Strained connections and lack of intimacy create feelings of isolation. Causes include poor communication, unresolved conflict, and social anxiety. Consequences are increased loneliness, depression, and reduced well-being. Improving social skills and seeking support are crucial.
Those who struggle with interpersonal relationships may harbor negative beliefs about their worthiness of healthy connections. These individuals may feel that they are flawed or inadequate in ways that prevent them from forming and maintaining fulfilling relationships. This can stem from various sources, including early childhood experiences, past relationship traumas, or societal messages that promote unrealistic ideals. The consequences of such beliefs can be significant, leading to social isolation, difficulty forming close bonds, and a self-fulfilling prophecy where perceived inadequacies hinder the development of healthy relationships. These beliefs can also contribute to anxiety, depression, and a general sense of loneliness, further impacting overall well-being and making it challenging to establish meaningful connections. Addressing these negative beliefs and developing self-compassion are crucial steps towards fostering healthier relationships.
Relationship difficulties often involve fear of rejection or abandonment. This fear can stem from past hurts, low self-esteem, or attachment issues. Consequences include social withdrawal, difficulty trusting others, and a self-fulfilling prophecy of failed relationships. Addressing these fears is key to healthier connections.
Those who struggle with interpersonal relationships may have significant difficulty trusting others, often stemming from negative experiences in the past. These past hurts, such as betrayal, abuse, or neglect, can create a deep-seated sense of vulnerability and a reluctance to open oneself up to the possibility of further pain. This difficulty trusting can manifest as guardedness, suspicion, and an unwillingness to form close bonds. The consequences of this mistrust can be far-reaching, leading to social isolation, difficulty maintaining healthy relationships, and a pervasive sense of loneliness. It can also contribute to anxiety, depression, and a general sense of cynicism about others. Overcoming this challenge often requires therapeutic intervention, self-reflection, and a gradual process of rebuilding trust in a safe and supportive environment.
Relationship difficulties often involve trouble expressing thoughts and feelings. This can stem from fear of vulnerability, poor communication skills, or past negative experiences. Consequences include misunderstandings, strained relationships, and emotional buildup. Learning healthy communication is crucial.
Those who struggle with interpersonal relationships often have difficulty with empathy, meaning they find it hard to put themselves in someone else's shoes and understand their perspectives, emotions, and needs. This can stem from various causes, including limited emotional intelligence, a lack of exposure to diverse viewpoints, or even past experiences that have fostered a self-centered worldview. The consequences of this lack of empathy can be significant, leading to misunderstandings, conflict, and strained relationships. Individuals may struggle to connect with others on a deeper level, misinterpret social cues, and unintentionally cause hurt or offense. This can result in social isolation, difficulty maintaining close relationships, and a general sense of disconnection from others. Developing empathy through self-reflection, active listening, and seeking to understand diverse perspectives is crucial for building and maintaining healthy relationships.
Relationship difficulties often involve trouble forgiving. Holding on to resentment stems from past hurts, unresolved conflict, and difficulty letting go. Consequences include bitterness, strained relationships, and emotional burden. Learning forgiveness is crucial for healthier connections.
Those who struggle with interpersonal relationships may experience a deep-seated fear of losing the love of treasured individuals, which can paradoxically lead to controlling and jealous behaviors. This fear often stems from insecurities, past experiences of abandonment or betrayal, and low self-esteem. Individuals may attempt to control their loved ones' actions and interactions as a way to preemptively protect themselves from perceived threats to the relationship. Jealousy, fueled by this same fear, can manifest as suspicion, possessiveness, and even aggression. The consequences of these controlling and jealous behaviors are often the very outcome they were intended to prevent: damaged relationships, resentment, and ultimately, the loss of the loved one. These behaviors can also lead to isolation, as individuals may alienate friends and family with their possessive tendencies. Addressing the underlying fears and insecurities through therapy or self-reflection is crucial for developing healthier relationship patterns.
Relationship difficulties often involve trouble managing emotions. Uncontrolled feelings like anger or anxiety strain connections. Causes include emotional dysregulation, poor coping skills, and past trauma. Consequences are conflict, misunderstandings, and damaged relationships. Learning emotional regulation is key.
Those who struggle with interpersonal relationships may indeed repeat harmful patterns of behavior across different relationships. This often stems from a lack of self-awareness, unresolved past traumas, or learned relationship dynamics from childhood. Individuals may unconsciously recreate familiar relationship dynamics, even if those dynamics were dysfunctional or abusive. For example, someone who grew up in a household with volatile conflict might gravitate towards similar relationships in adulthood. The consequences of repeating these harmful patterns can be devastating, leading to a series of failed or unsatisfying relationships, increased emotional distress, and a sense of hopelessness about ever finding healthy connections. These repeated negative experiences can also reinforce negative self-perceptions, making it even harder to break free from these destructive cycles. Therapy, self-reflection, and a commitment to personal growth are often necessary to identify and change these deeply ingrained patterns.
Relationship difficulties often involve trouble setting boundaries. This can stem from fear of rejection, low self-esteem, or lack of assertiveness. Consequences include being taken advantage of, resentment, and strained relationships. Learning to set boundaries is crucial.
Those who struggle with interpersonal relationships may experience a significant fear of emotional vulnerability, making it difficult to open up and connect with others on a deeper level. This fear can stem from past hurts, experiences of betrayal, low self-esteem, or a general lack of trust. Individuals may worry about being judged, rejected, or hurt again if they reveal their true selves. The consequences of this fear can be profound, leading to superficial relationships, feelings of loneliness and isolation, and difficulty experiencing true intimacy. It can also hinder the development of strong social support networks, making it harder to navigate life's challenges. Furthermore, this emotional guardedness can prevent individuals from receiving the emotional support and connection they need, perpetuating a cycle of loneliness and relationship difficulties. Overcoming this fear through therapy, self-reflection, and gradual exposure to safe and supportive relationships is crucial for building deeper connections and fostering emotional well-being.
Relationship difficulties can lead to feeling like one doesn't belong. Strained connections create a sense of not fitting in. Causes include social anxiety, past rejection, and low self-esteem. Consequences are isolation, loneliness, and decreased well-being. Finding supportive communities is key.
Those who struggle with interpersonal relationships may, unfortunately, have a tendency to sabotage healthy relationships through self-destructive behaviors. This can stem from a variety of underlying issues, including low self-esteem, fear of intimacy, unresolved past traumas, or a lack of healthy relationship models. Individuals might engage in behaviors like pushing loved ones away, creating unnecessary conflict, engaging in infidelity, or abusing substances, all of which can ultimately damage or destroy otherwise healthy connections. The consequences of these self-sabotaging behaviors are significant, often leading to broken relationships, increased feelings of loneliness and isolation, and a reinforcement of negative self-perceptions. These repeated experiences of relationship failure can further contribute to feelings of hopelessness and make it even more challenging to form healthy connections in the future. Therapy and self-reflection are often necessary to understand the root causes of these self-destructive patterns and develop healthier relationship behaviors.
Relationship difficulties often mean lacking a strong support network. Strained connections limit available support. Causes include social anxiety, difficulty trusting, and past hurts. Consequences are increased loneliness, difficulty coping with stress, and reduced well-being. Building healthy relationships is key to gaining support.
Difficulties with interpersonal relationships can stem from a complex interplay of factors, including past traumas, learned behaviors, and underlying mental health conditions. These issues often manifest as challenges in communication, trust, and emotional regulation, leading to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and diminished self-esteem. Furthermore, the reluctance to seek professional help can be attributed to societal stigma, fear of vulnerability, or a lack of awareness regarding available resources. This avoidance, however, perpetuates a cycle of distress, preventing individuals from accessing the tools and support necessary to build healthier connections. Consequently, unaddressed interpersonal challenges can contribute to increased anxiety, depression, and a reduced overall quality of life, highlighting the importance of overcoming barriers to both healthy relationships and professional mental health support.
Interpersonal struggles often arise from past hurts, low self-esteem, or poor communication skills. This can fuel a belief of being incapable of healthy bonds, leading to isolation and further relational issues. Such beliefs create a self-fulfilling prophecy, preventing connection and causing emotional distress.
Difficulties in interpersonal relationships can arise from past traumas, insecure attachment styles, or learned patterns of unhealthy communication. These experiences can breed deep-seated doubts about one's capacity to love and be loved, leading to emotional withdrawal, fear of vulnerability, and self-sabotaging behaviors. This internal struggle fosters a cycle of isolation and reinforces negative beliefs, ultimately hindering the formation of fulfilling connections and causing significant emotional distress.
Relational struggles often stem from past betrayals or insecure attachments, fostering a fear of commitment and hurt. This fear manifests as avoidance, emotional distancing, or self-sabotage, preventing deep connections. Consequently, individuals experience loneliness, distrust, and a cycle of fleeting, unsatisfying relationships, reinforcing the fear of vulnerability.
A selfish perspective severely hinders interpersonal relationships, stemming from an egocentric worldview that prioritizes personal needs above others. This lack of empathy and consideration manifests as poor communication, disregard for boundaries, and an unwillingness to compromise. Consequently, individuals experience isolation, conflict, and a reputation for being unreliable. This self-centeredness not only damages existing connections but also prevents the formation of new, meaningful relationships, leading to loneliness and a diminished sense of community.
A proud perspective fuels relational difficulties by creating barriers to vulnerability and empathy. This stance often masks insecurity, leading to defensiveness, dismissiveness, and an unwillingness to admit fault. Consequently, individuals experience strained connections, isolation, and a lack of genuine intimacy. Pride prevents learning from others, hindering personal growth and fostering a cycle of conflict and resentment.